Hello, this is David, and welcome to Equity Story. Just having a look at obviously the ASX 200. You can see it's obviously had this downtrend since again August last year, and again I think this week might trade sideways, but I think my feeling is that the news we got, the way the Dow is trading at the moment, I think the Dow will potentially pull us down, and I think we've got a good chance to head towards that 4,800 level. If not this week, possibly next week. But again, going for a little sell signal, we do obviously, you know, the real sentiment behind the SX 200 is generally pretty negative. However, that sort of hasn't really stopped us from having some big hits today on Equity Story. Um, Good to see people waking up to the Buddy story. Again, we had a buy under this stock at under 18 cents. We held it for quite a while. Um, we put on sort of around I think I can't remember now, around sort of January, and again it's come back, but done just like a lot of new listings, comes back, hits that long-term moving average, and she's starting to move up today. I think she had a really interesting contract win through Facebook, and obviously we're looking at that revenue model at the moment, and I think potentially could be just one of many great contracts that Buddy's going to pick up over next year. So we do expect this stock to have a run sometime, and I think a little bit like the Hazer Group today. I think when you see Buddy will have a run, I think she can run up pretty strong and pretty fast. And I'll show you obviously the Hazer Group, which we've nearly doubled our money on this one. Again, you can see actually a very similar pattern in a way. Done this typical thing, come back, listings, listed, come back, holding a sort of longer term, possibly moving average, and then having that strong move up. And you can see when she's had that move up, it's been really strong. And I think just got a funny thing, just going back to Buddy again. I think she can do this similar type of movement. Again, both are excellent stories. And going back to the Hazer Group again, up 32% today. I think people are just, the market cap isn't particularly high for the Hazer Group, and I think the market's just readjusting the potential of this company, because potentially, obviously, if their technology works, I mean, this thing obviously can be, like we said, a real 10-bagger. Having a look at another 10-bagger while we're on the subject, Eden Energy again. We're up nearly 300% in this stock, and again, she had another run today. Had a bit of profit taking. I think that was quite a few of our members, the people I've been speaking to. Obviously, doubled or made a lot of money pretty quickly, and obviously just being sensible. But I mean, what a great story Eden Energy is! Unbelievable. I mean, this stock potentially could be a lot higher. So again, we have a lot of fun at Equity Story, looking for these sort of under the radar stories. And another one, that we put on recently, and again, is MOY, a little gold play, Millennium. This potentially is obviously will be making good money this year, and potentially if gold price goes up, could make a lot more. So again, good little share price, going quite nicely for that little buy signal. And just have a look at that short-term chart. It's a little bit more telling. Again, the short-term charts behaved, jumped off the 20, now jumped off the 40, bounced up really nicely. And if she can just jump, maybe trade a little bit at 0.116, could go for that little run. But again, what a fantastic looking chart. And we obviously buy these good fundamental stories, but we use these charts to give us a lot of guidance. And Orocobra, possibly just squash this up a little bit, so you can see absolutely fantastic looking chart pattern. And Equity Story, we don't really show it because it's really our secret, but we look at a lot of different chart patterns, and as you draw trend lines on this, you'll sort of have an idea. This is seriously aggressive trend line, and I don't think it could be long before she hits 350. Again, we have been taking a lot of profits on training stocks if we make sort of 12%, but I think this one will run up at least to 350. And again, what a great looking short-term chart Orocobra's got. Absolutely stunning. A fantastic looking chart. Looks great. One of the guys today sent in another absolutely stunning short-term chart. So it's not one that we've got a recommendation on at the moment, but Codan CDA, again, that's got a nice little, perfect little swing going on it. It looks very, very strong. Again, sort of stocks traded as high as recently $1.20. It's come back, and again, starting to have a good week in the green on a weekly chart. So obviously, it could be an interesting turnaround story. I suppose just really having a look. Obviously, every week we put out the weekly buy and sell signals, and we don't, have to say these are just for our day traders or people on the books looking for short-term gains. We suggest, if you like the story, to buy it on the open on Monday. And funny enough, this week we had very little classic buy signals. I think we had ARB, which I wasn't crazy about, but we have RFG had a pretty good, and it went through the buy signal today, and it's sort of pretty lousy on the market. You can see went through that buy signal and up sort of 1.34%. But again, actually the chart looks pretty good. Looks like at least you'll go and retest that 560 level. And if you look at it on the long-term chart, again having a nice sort of holding that long-term chart and cupping up very, very nicely. Of the stocks that we said were bullish, again, funny enough, a lot of gold stocks looked really good on the weekend. So BDR, sort of, what a chart. Some of these gold stocks just look amazing. BDR's up there 8%. Another one, Evolution, up. I think you get a better feel on Evolution on the long-term chart. That looks absolutely stunning. Look, it has a really typical wave pattern, quite easy to predict. Again, Evolution looks good. Some of the big ones, Northern Star, again looks very, very strong. Again, coming up to little buy signal, looks really good. RSG up 7%. Again, what a great looking chart on the long term and that short term chart. Absolutely fantastic. And came down, hit that moving average, banged straight for that MACD, and just doing everything right. Obviously Sydney Airport's looking good and focused. FPH, not really an ASX 200 company, I don't think, but again, what a great looking, absolutely stunning long-term chart. You don't get many better than that. That really is a really exciting chart. Absolutely excellent. So anyway, I'd like to thank you obviously for listening to Equity Story. Obviously, we're looking for good ideas all the time. Hopefully, we'll get some. Just before we go, actually, I would like to just mention BWX. Again, this stock is, it's one of our 3-year growth stories. Again, we put this one. I mean, that's just ridiculous. That chart, that is incredible. But just having a look at this short-term chart. Again, talk about great charts. This is fantastic. I think we put this on around the 320, and we're already up. What is it, 30% or something in this stock? But again, it looks absolutely stunning. So if you're not in BWX, please go to the website, read up about it, because again, I think it's a really, really exciting story. Anyway, good night, and I look forward to bringing this report tomorrow night.